Today on A Real Kitchen, we're going to be making recipes from the Complete Keto Diet Cookbook for Beginners, #2019. The keto or ketogenic diet is super popular right now, and there are so many cookbooks on the market. Well, I decided to try one of the newer ones, and it's called The Complete Keto Diet for Beginners, #2019. Author Mandy Cook struggled her whole life with her weight, and when she started 3 years ago on the keto diet, her whole life changed. And this is her recipe collection. Today, I am making, for the first time, the rich double cheese stuffed meatloaf and the easiest brownies ever. This will be not only my honest review of this cookbook, but each recipe. If you are on the keto diet, what are some of your favorite foods or recipes? Let me know in the comments below. So, what are we waiting for? Let's test this cookbook. So I'm going to be telling you how long each recipe really takes from start to finish, and that includes prep time, because unless you've got a sous chef prepping everything for you, I mean, come on, this is a real kitchen, and I have to prep everything for myself. I'm not going to have it in those cute little bowls. I'm going to be prepping it for the camera so you see. So for example, this first recipe says it's going to take 1 hour to make. Does that include prep time? I don't know. Let's make this meatloaf. Jalapenos. Oh, Lord. Okay. Make sure you take all the seeds out. The seeds is where the heat is. That took about 7 minutes just to prep the vegetables. %100% cheese, no fillers. Half a cup of this. Now, this recipe is calling for a 1/4 pound of bacon. We need to whisk our 1 egg. I love fresh eggs. Look at the color of that yolk. Oh my gosh. Now, one of the things that I'm very confused on is it calls for 1 tomato pureed. I don't have a tomato pureer, so I am just gonna chop up my tomato and just kind of squish it. Push it with my hands. I mean, if it wanted pureed tomatoes, you can always buy a can of pureed tomatoes. Okay, the last thing we need to do is mince up 2 cloves of garlic. We're almost ready to start the actual cooking process. Okay, so after about a little bit of 15 minutes or so in prep time, we are gonna get started with everything. First thing that we're gonna do is saute the onions, the peppers, and the garlic. So let's get our 1/2 cup of onions. Want us to add a little bit of sunflower oil. Okay, to get the garlic out of the bowl, happy spatula. And the peppers. And I have my oven preheating right now at 300 degrees. And we are going to be sauteing these until they are really aromatic and tender. That's about 5 minutes. I'm going to remove this now from the heat and set it aside while we prepare the meatloaf. Put the beef into the bowl and add the bacon, both cheeses, egg, oyster sauce, and some salt and pepper. And now we want to mix this together. So now it looks like everything's combined. I've got my loaf pan here. So you know how we just sauteed all these vegetables? It never says in the recipe what to do with them. So obviously I must have to put them in here. So we're gonna put this into the loaf pan. Awful lot of peppers, but if you like peppers, you're gonna like this. And now the last thing that it tells us to do is to take our pureed tomato and then also a little bit of mustard over the top. And now just kind of spread this over the top. We're supposed to cover this with foil, and we're going to cook this for 50 minutes in our ovens. Okay. Okay, the meatloaf is done, and this is what it looks like. Basically, Mandy's recipe had me at brownie, but then she threw in the words easiest ever, so I gotta try this because I consider myself somewhat of a brownie expert. Well, eating them, that is. So when we take a look at first glance, it says they're gonna take about an hour, and I don't have any problem with that. But to me, when you have easiest brownies ever, this is a lot of steps. And then the one thing that I think is very interesting is I think this is definitely a typo. It's calling for 1 vanilla extract. What the heck is 1 vanilla extract? I'm sure it's supposed to say 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract, but you know, I don't know, I guess maybe I'm too strict or whatever, but you need to have specific measurements. So I don't know how this is gonna turn out, but let's give it a whirl. Whisk these together. And our 1 vanilla extract, which I'm assuming is 1 teaspoon. And now we're gonna mix this together with our electric mixer. Anytime anything might make a cloud, you just kind of cover it with a towel so it doesn't go everywhere. Okay, everything looks really well combined now. A microwave safe bowl. We're gonna melt some coconut oil and the chocolate. So I need a 1/2 cup of coconut oil. We're gonna get our unsweetened baking chocolate. It doesn't say to do this, but you definitely wanna break it up to make sure it melts just a little bit quicker. And I'm gonna set the microwave at like 30-second intervals. Okay, so our chocolate is melted, our chocolate and our coconut oil together. And now we are going to put that into the rest of the ingredients that we have over here. And let's just mix these together. Normally bake my brownies in an 8x8. That is what I'm doing, is putting it in an 8x8 brownie pan. I have my oven preheating at 320 degrees, and we're gonna bake this for 50 minutes, 50. First thing we're gonna do is try our meatloaf. And here you have the meatloaf right here, the 3 cheese meatloaf. It said it was gonna take about an hour to make in the cookbook. And by my calculations, this took me an hour and 45 minutes, so definitely longer than the hour because that definitely included the prep time. But let's give it a taste. I did add some ketchup to the top because it just looked like it needed a little bit more moisture. You definitely need to like red peppers in order, or red pepper, bell pepper, whatever kind of pepper you put in here, because it's a little bit strong with the whole pepper in it and the jalapeno. I would probably put in a little bit less bell pepper, but that's because I'm just not the biggest bell pepper fan. But if you are a big bell pepper fan, then you're gonna absolutely love this. I do like the double cheese flavor. It really is very nice. The ketchup that I put on top really made a big difference. I guess I'm pretty strict with my meatloaf. I've had so many different types of meatloaf recipes throughout my life. This one is just okay. So 1.5 whisks. The next recipe that we're gonna try these brownies, the easiest brownies ever. The thing that I did to them is I added a little bit of dark chocolate drizzle over them because they just looked like they were a little bit dry and they needed something, so let me give these a taste. Okay guys, so I'm gonna be 100% honest with you. This was a miss. They are very, very dry. So I'm gonna give this like a 1/2 whisk or even 1/4 whisk. I'm so sorry. Marcy, I'm so sorry, but that's my honest opinion. I would love to hear from you if you're watching this on what I possibly did wrong or any alterations that you might have discovered while you, after you made this. Including prep time, it took me about 1 hour and 25 minutes. So I think what cookbook authors really need to do is they really need to take into account that we are prepping the ingredients on our own. Which one of these keto recipes do you think you will try? Let me know in the comments below. So with regard to the complete keto diet cookbook for beginners, #2019. So Mandy, you did give a very short introduction, and I understand why you started the keto diet and you went on the keto plan, and so glad it worked for you. But I would love to understand a little bit more about what makes one person feel that they can publish a cookbook. I could not find a publisher's house, So I believe that, that Mandy self-published this. Another thing I think I talked about was not a single one of the recipes in here has a picture. The first cookbook that I reviewed in my series, I'll link it here, almost every single recipe had a picture. I happen to be a very visual person, and I know a lot of my friends that love their cookbooks. The recipes have pictures. It's so great to know what it's supposed to look like. Now, a big plus is the nutritional information is listed here below. So you know exactly what the calories, the fat, the carbs, so that is wonderful. There are a total of 75 recipes in here. Another reason that I also purchased this cookbook is because it has very high ratings on Amazon. That I saw on customer ratings was that they said it was a great starting or a great beginner cookbook. And that I have to agree, but I really feel like the recipes need to be delicious as well. So if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and share it with anybody that you feel would enjoy it. And make sure that you smash that subscribe button below so you'll be notified every Tuesday and Thursday when I post new videos. And also make sure that you're following me on Instagram @ARealKitchen. And please don't forget to comment below for any cookbook that you would like to see me review next. Well, thank you so much for watching. I will see you next time. Bye.